Okay, I think we're live. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we are. Every time I do a live stream, I swear something gets messed up or I get behind or it's a learning process. So thanks for struggling along with me. I put out a bunch of reminders, however, I forgot to add the link. So I guess just some people just won't find us tonight. I mean, I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to get in here. And I'm going to talk to Kathy and make sure that she knows that I'm live. And I thought I had a poster. I do. Still haven't gotten my printer to print it in color yet, but here is the grand old black and white one. So while people are filtering in, we're going to go ahead and talk about, just for a second, hey, I don't know if it's Sergeant. Hey, Jennifer, Deanna, Jen, May, Marsha, Kathy. Awesome. Thank you guys for coming. I do have one example of what we're going to do tonight, but before I get into it, this is our, what would I call this? A bi-weekly stream, because we do 2 every week. And they're Thursdays from 6 to 7, which is what tonight is. And then there's another one on Sundays from 2 to 3 p.m. and they're always Central Standard Time. And they're broadcast live stream via my YouTube channel called Jen Evers. And then we welcome everybody who comes to these live streams to please come on over to Facebook and check us out at Quality Crafts. And that's how the two interconnect. And that's why I say, hey, crafters, it's me, Jen Evers with Quality Crafts. That happens to be my Facebook group and technically my brand. You'll see a little koala bear on most everything that I post, and that's how you can know it's me. I do have a blog. It's Jen's Quality Crafts at .blogspot.com. And then this is what we kind of look like right now at Facebook. I'm sure we have more members than that at the moment, but that was one of the views that I had gotten, just so that you had a clue you were in the right spot. Hey, Jamie and Jenny and Sandy. Awesome. So we're going to play with some acoustic art today, and this was an idea I got from Deanna, and I believe she's here tonight. I try to do things that you guys are interested in, or that you've done, or that you'd like to see done. And encaustic art is basically making art with using wax. That's all I know about it. That's why I entitled this one Encaustic Art Play. I'm not going to show you a super duper professional way of using these and have it all turn out beautiful and awesome. I've only done it once before, and that was about 5 minutes before I turned this camera on, just to make sure that I had the supplies I needed and that it would turn out somewhat. So here's my example. People use encaustic art to make interesting backgrounds and landscapes. See if I can get just a little bit closer for you. So this is an encaustic art, which just means wax. Now you can buy these big blocks of wax, which I imagine they're probably a little costly. I know I looked at this several years ago, but I never really got into it. I have one of those handheld, I should have pulled those out. I have a little handheld encaustic art thingamabob. Let me see if I can find it. It may be still in my drawer. Oh, I think I know where I left it. Hold on a second. Well, I have the wrapper anyway. I'm not quite sure where I hid the tool at, but this is what the one that I had, that I usually see people using this metal piece right here. This is by Purple Cows. If I were going to buy another one of these, I would have gone with the very, very hot temperature so that I could do those really cool things that they use these to make pocket letters with plastic and stuff. It melds the 2 pieces of plastic together so you can make any kind of pocket you want for like shaker cards and stuff. I don't know if this one would work for that, but I'd have to give it a shot. I've literally taken it out of the package and immediately lost it. Encaustic, yes, melted crayons, that's what we're doing today. I don't have the fancy blocks of wax that you're supposed to use for this. I'm using right here a 99-cent set of Crayola crayons from Walmart. I just thought this would be kind of fun to get into a little bit because Deanna said she's done it and it was really cool. I think there's other ways you can do it by using like smashing them between or ironing them between what do I want to say, wax paper and stuff. But she says she puts her straight on the paper. So this one I did straight on. What is it? It's photo paper, but it's Hewlett Packard photo paper I had laying around. So even now that the wax is on it, obviously you're not going to see too much shine, but I think we may be able to do some of this on regular paper. I don't know. That's why I called it play. We're going to see what kind of things we can get done with this. So I think first what I'll do is I'll do one, again, the same way I did this one. Oh, and look what happened. These are the kind that you can, it's perforated right here on the edge, so you can peel that off. So I'm literally not going to even get that whole piece. I don't think it really changes it that much though. But I'm going to try to recopy that one for you guys right now. But I'm going to get rid of that edge first. So it's a piece of copy paper, not copy paper, picture paper, photo paper, that's 4 inches by 6 inches. So yeah, once you take that tab off, it's 4 by 6. And I'm using my little teeny tiny, I'm going to show you first here, little teeny tiny craft iron that I picked up somewhere. Joann's, like years ago. Okay, so you can see, it's kind of see-through, you can see all the little things, and here's the bottom of it because it's still messy from me playing around with it. So I'm going to do a sky, and I'm going to add some blues and grays. Blues, grays, and maybe a little bit of yellow or red. So here's the gray. And this is super hot, so you're going to see that this melts right away. And it all runs to the side. So I'm going to try not to let it drip all over the place. So get some blue in there. Blues, grays, what else did I say? Maybe a little bit of red. And see what we get. I'm just going to smash it all the way across the page here. I'm dragging mine a couple of times, even though I don't know that you're supposed to, because I just don't think I had enough wax on there. When you use the big wax blocks, you get a lot of really cool looks. But here is what we ended up for, like a sky. It's kind of cool. And they used a lot of white too, you guys, but I only have one white. And as you can see, these melt down pretty fast. So I'm just going to kind of wipe this off here. And then I'm going to add some green on the bottom. My apologies that this is so dirty that you can hardly see what we're working on. But now we're going to work on the bottom, and I'm going to just add some greens. So I'm going to start out with a bunch of light green. And I'll try to get enough wax on here where it makes it all the way across this side. And then of course some dark green. This is one of those things where I really have to watch what I'm doing, so I'm probably missing a lot in chat, and I can't get over that right now. So if you have a lot of really pertinent questions, put them all in caps and I'll try to catch them on my way back down. So green and yellow, that's what I'm going to use for the bottom. And then as you get a thicker layer, supposedly you can lift up, touch the side of the iron and lift up, and it makes these cool little patterns. Try not to make mine have such a tip on the top, but it kind of makes grass and patterns when you lift up like that. I'm going to put a little bit more on that corner, and then I'm going to wipe it down. I'm just using the paper as like a eraser to get it off there. Ta-da. So because I'm heating it, I'm making a total mess all over everything. But that's kind of what I got this time. Totally different than the last time I did it. It's kind of neat. I may have to take a scrapey tool or something to get all the wax off of here. I wonder if I heat it back up, if I can just take it off with a wet wipe. The problem with this in the area that I'm working on right now, which I should have gotten another, I think I will pull out another one actually. This one underneath, this is heat proof and smudge proof, but my desk that's underneath is not, it's plastic. So that becomes kind of an issue. Although I'm trying not to hold it down for too long that it would totally ruin it. And the next thing that you could do is take the darker colors and the very, very edge of this and make like little, Sandy says, I was skeptical, but this is very cool. I was skeptical too. I thought, can I really pull this off in 10 minutes? I think this is my black crayon. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a bunch on the edge here and see if I can't get some little grass blades to come up for you. This, I think, is the hardest part. I know I'm not holding this right, and it does actually heat up the other parts of the, what do you call it? It does heat up the wax that's already on here. I tend to be better on the left side, a lot lighter handed, I guess. But I did want some of it to kind of come down. A little bit darker in the front, maybe not quite so much. But you just kind of play with it. I mean, I don't think that there's really any super wrong way to pull this off since it is art. So I'm just going to blend a little bit of that out. That works. And wipe the rest of it off. So I end up with a bunch of grass and stuff and whatever. And then they end up to be backgrounds. Typically, you get such a thin layer, except for down here where I got really heavy-handed. You get such a thin layer of the black, or of the wax, that you can use this as a background and you don't really have to cover it with anything else. Yes, this is where that tool I showed you would come in real handy if I could find it. Oh, you know what? It's around here somewhere. I know it is. I'm going to have to replace this Ranger mat because this is really getting nasty. But here are two completely different looks. By using like completely different colors. Looks like I used a lot more yellow and purple in the sky the first time. This time I used blue and red. And of course the white always calms all of it down if you use a bunch of white. But it's kind of neat. I wish I knew a lot more about it to show you. But since I don't, I thought it would be super fun to first off try it with a regular piece of paper. And, oh no, I'm not done. I've got more play in mind. I'm going to squirt this all over, not real heavily, but lightly, just so it misses the entire thing, so I can give it a scrunch. This is regular 110-pound white cardstock by Nina. Angela says she's eating dinner at Border Mexican Grill and watching me. That's really interesting. I thought this would be really fun. I'm not going to worry about what colors I use. I wish we could get some of this. Yeah, see, this will all scrape off of here afterwards, so I don't have to worry too much about it. But now I've got a lot of bumps and cracks in here. I just want to put on some fun colors and smear this right across. And I am going to do what I did before and pull out, pardon if you couldn't hear me, pull out another white piece as a backdrop just so that I don't get it all over this part right here. And let's just start out with this color. It's kind of a red. I took all the Crayola things off of it, so you can't really see them anymore, and I'm just gonna wipe this until there's nothing left. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I got a big bloody mess on there. Look at that. That's kind of gross. Now if I add something else, it's going to take some of that red off here, so I'm going to add yellow, because yellow and red make orange. We'll probably get some orange on here. You can see it as I put it on there that it's getting kind of orange. And let's try this again. Now as I do it, I'm also flattening out the paper because this is technically an iron, even though it's a little craft iron. So it's going to start getting flatter, so it won't be so bumpy. It'll still look like it's textured, but it'll be a little bit flatter and easier to work with when I put it on a card. Plus it's helped me get a lot of the excess off, although I'm thinking I could probably wipe that off with a baby wipe while it's still warm. Well, that turned out kind of cool. And imagine if we did another one and we did the same thing. Let's say we wanted this bottom to be a different color. Like, I think this is purple. I don't know. It's either a blue or a purple. Looks like it's going to be more of a blue. Let's just see how much of this we can cover with the blue. Now this does not travel nearly as far as it does on the glossy cardstock, obviously, because there's no slick surface to it and it just sucks it right in. So that was my black. Was it this one? I'm just going to put a little bit more on there and see if I can't put a little bit more color on it. Trying to cover up a bunch of the white. Try not to burn yourselves. Good golly, don't burn yourself and then say you learned this from Jenny first. By all means, please don't do that. That'd be really bad. This is still warm, but not so warm that you can't touch it. Well, that's going to resist on this side, but I'm going to put a little water on the other side, because what I want to do is I want to crumple this one up and try to do... I'm trying to look at the chat while I do this. What if you color the page, then iron it? Color it with what, Star? I'm listening to ya. What would it look like if you scribbled on the paper and then used the iron? Ooh, that would be fun. We'll do that one next. So it looks like when I crumpled this up, it gave it a really cool look too. Kind of some of the white is coming through, I think, and like in these cracks when I crumpled it up pretty severely. But now I want to take all these lumps and bumps. You know how it sat on the top with the red? Like this one? You know, it sat on top. I want to do something on the top of here. Now, if I would have been smart, I'd have done a lot much lighter color underneath, but I wasn't using the old noggin. So let's see, what do we think would go like over the top of that? How about a pink? Let's just see if this pink can make its mark on top of that dark blue. You never know. We're just playing around. Oh, look at that. It found the hills, the mountains. Better wipe that off. It did find the mountains and made it a little bit pink. So now we've got another really cool look. I'm not going to smash this one down per se because I'm afraid the pink highlights would take a back seat. Okay, so Star and Deanna said, well, if we scribbled on the paper instead of doing that. And do you want to see scribble on, I'm going to have a drink here, scribble on the photo paper or the cardstock? Oh, I can pull that over and do white. Good thinking, guys. There we go. I added a little bit of white to that. It's kind of cool. You can make some really neat cards with this stuff. And Kathy says both, so we're going to scribble on both and see what happens. So here is, I gotta make sure I take that little thing off. Here is the photo paper on the left. And Nina 110-pound cardstock on the right. I'm going to do, oh wow. Well, scribbling on this is really like a resist. I don't know, can you see? Yeah, you can see in the glare some of that. It sort of sits there on top. We'll do some pink and some yellow. I don't know if enough is going to stay on the top that it's going to really wipe well, but we'll see. I'm just going to add some more pink. I have a feeling that pink's going to disappear. And then maybe a little bit of blue on there. So pink, yellow, and blue. And then on this one, I think this is maybe purple. It is. I'm going to try some of this shading. I'm trying really carefully not to hit my arm on the iron that's laying to the side of me. It goes well with purple orange. I know if they bump together, they're going to get brown. I'm pretty sure. But heck, we're playing. We can do whatever we want. We can make up our own rules. So let's start off with this one on the side. This is the photo paper. Unfortunately, the only thing that's really happening, it is smearing some, but there's not a lot of wax on there to smear, but a lot of the stuff from my iron came off onto that plain paper. My iron got clean, but it's really hard to get to keep the enough wax on there to make it really move and do anything. I have a feeling it's not going to do much with this either unless I really grind. Unless I really, what is, it is purple. I put some really thick layers down. I'm going to go back in here and give this crayon a really good push. So it lays down a layer, a thick layer of wax. I know what I want to say, it's just my brain doesn't process it as quickly as I want it to. And we'll do the same thing with a little orange over the top of this. Alright, here we go. It is actually melting and smearing some, but not like it was with, I don't know how to explain it. Well, you guys can see it kind of happening in front of your face. It kind of kicks up and drags it a little tiny bit, but for the most part you're left with it ironing it directly where it was. But that's kind of cool. These are regular 99-cent Crayola Walmart crayons. I just took all the papers off because they melt so quickly I couldn't keep up, and if I had to stop every few seconds to tear paper off, we wouldn't have seen hardly any of the stuff we've done tonight. I do have another trick up my sleeve. I want to see how embossed paper will work. But now that I've seen how it really works, I'd rather have it this embossed in the photo paper, so I'm going to do that real quick. I'm embossing the photo paper in this pattern. I wonder if this whole time I shouldn't have gotten closer. You guys can always yell at me. Jennifer Marcus says, how about emboss a piece and melt the crayon on it? You mean like what I just said, or? Okay, so I'm going to use greens and yellows on this because I think that would look really pretty. So let's start out melting some yellow. Cats are getting sassy outside my door. They usually get fed just after I'm done with my live stream. They got the timing down, I tell ya. Now I'm just adding a little bit of green. Whoops, let me get in camera. I gotta remember that I made you guys closer up. So yellow and green. Whoops. I'm trying not to touch the wax that I just melted on there because that could turn out to be kind of scary if I burnt myself. I'm trying to move it over so that it touches all of the things. But I had so much wax on there in the beginning that it really oozed right into the middle. I don't mind though. I still think that turned out super cool. What do you guys think? Oops, I just added some brown. Well, that's kind of organic, isn't it? I guess I'll stop there. That's really cool. I had another one ready to go, and this is also just paper. So on one side of it, I'm just going to just get rid of that green. Oh, you know what? That would have looked really cool on the negative part. Check it out. But I'm going to try to get it to go on the bumpy part on this side. I don't know. Let's do orange because we haven't done a lot of that. This isn't going to go. This is not going to go as far unless I move super quick because this is not slippery. So I have to move kind of quick. See, it seems no matter where you set it down first, that's where the majority of your wax is going to go, especially on this just plain cardstock. So that's kind of cool. Oh, so Star said, so now what would you use this for? I would use all these for backgrounds to cards. Sure. Because you could totally just, you could totally just cut these out in circles and squares and whatnot. And that is all that I had to put together for experimentation. So unless you guys have some more ideas, I think that I'm just going to take some of these and try to put it into a card. So we make a couple of card bases here. And for those who are just streaming in now, no pun intended, if you've missed some of the beginning, we started out doing encaustic art to create some kind of a background. Now I'm going to back out so you can see more. To do some kind of backgrounds. And you could do mountains and you could do water and all kinds of fancy stuff. And then we tried it with some crumpled papers and stuff. And then some other fun ways on the end. This is really pretty. I want to use this one. While I'm waiting, I'm going to move my hot iron onto my other work surface so that I don't burn a hole into my desk here. It seems to have been doing just fine though. I don't feel any exorbitant heat. There's a little bump from where it was sitting though. So in something like this, I might use just a part of this. I could use the whole darn thing. Actually, it looks really cool that way. I'm going to flip it over, and hopefully there's enough that's not waxy, like super waxy, that my ATG tape will stick to it all so that we can get this to stick down to our paper. There's going to be some parts that are waxy that it won't. Like that part just totally did not take at all. You have to watch for your pools of wax. If you flip it over and you see dark pools, that's where the wax is. It's going to totally resist that. I'm giving this kind of a push in as I go to keep the bumps and to maintain kind of a white border around the outside. So I don't want to get rid of all those fantastic bumps. They're really cool. So that would be a really awesome addition to a bunch of cards, like if you're making a set. Oh, I'm totally in love with that. I really think it would look good with these snowflakes that I got. I need to snip open this container. Auntie Bernie, are you late? We're about halfway through. It's 6:30, dear. Yes, you can also cut these out with dies. Absolutely. That would look so cool. These are mostly see-through. They are for ornaments, you know, hanging. They're kind of iridescent, which means they shine a bunch of different colors. And they have this glitter on them. I forget what you call that, like eyelash glitter. They're not round. They're like, they look like you just chopped off all your little fancy eyelashes. But I'm going to tell you right now, and I knew this would happen, this stuff like gets everywhere. So you're going to have glitter for months if you get them. They are pretty though. So here on the end is the little hangy piece, but I thought that would look really pretty on there. It kind of disappears, doesn't it? It is pretty gorgeous though. I like the look of them. I do wish they used some kind of glue that would keep the glitter on the snowflake and not on us. It would be helpful. Somebody else said make die cuts. Now I'm not going to make die cuts of these two, obviously. I'm just going to slap those on a card and call them good. People will be in awe of my artistic ability, even though it takes like a couple of swipes of some crayons to make. And then let's see if I have a die handy that I can die cut one of these for you. I think it would look really pretty with this die cut as a background. You do have some larger dies somewhere. I want to find one that I know is going to work for sure. No, I did not prepare that ahead of time, so I'm not sure where my big dies are. One more peek through here and then I'm done. Oh, here they are. Okay, so I've got a bunch of these. These are really skinny. Like something like that. And then I would take the next step up and I would make something that went around a little bit bigger. let's try that. Let's see if I can get a good cut on it. Hear all that creaking and cracking? It does that. But I got a good cut from that. That is neat. So that could go on there. I could just see a bunch of flowers on top of there that would look really awesome. Let's see if I could find one step bigger. That's quite a bit bigger. Holy Anna. Kind of hoping for just a little bit bigger. That one is. I'm thinking what would make that pop would be either a nice dark brown or a black. Let's just try a dark brown because I know I have that right to my left of me. So I'm just going to make a cut out of that, but it's too long, so I got to cut the paper too. How much time we got left, guys? How are we doing on time? We got about 20 minutes. We got plenty of time. I'm going to make this cut. I'm wearing my ducky pajamas tonight, by the way, if you weren't sure what kind I was wearing. It is not wanting to go through. I have to reset my sandwich. There we go. That was better. That time it didn't creak and groan as much, but I didn't get a perfect cut because I think I missed the end of it. So here's how I fixed that. I could kind of see the line where it went. So I'm just going to use my hand, eyeball that as close as I can and cut it out. Close enough. I got wax on my fingers. So that looks cool. It's kind of earthy. Put some big flowers on there, I think would look really cool. How about some flowers that look like this? Look at this, might be a little too big, so I brought 2 of them. Oh no, I think that'll work fine. I think we might be able to get 3 out of there. And then, what about if we did, I don't know, if we did like the same colored green for the center, would that be cool? I think we need to all night 3. I said, how much time do we have? Kathy says 20 minutes. TAP says 3 or 4 hours. Jamie Hunt says all night. Wax on your fingers and bells on your toes. I'm just crumpling this up to give them more of an effect. And then I'm going to put these on as flowers. Now, from your point of view, when I look at yours from how far away you are, you look a little convoluted. But I swear in person, this looks really, really cool. Oh, I'm going to do brown inserts because I think that'll pull the brown out of there. So I need my little circle punch. That is, if I can find it. This one will work. This one will work. It's not my favorite, but it does the trick. The other one is longer, so I don't have to push so hard with my fingers. It just seems easier. I need 3 of them. And I just may glitter them. I'm not sure yet. But because we have so much wax on there, I'm going to put wet glue on here because I want it to stick to whatever part's not wax. If that makes any sense, there's going to be some of it that's not waxy that should stick to. Instead of taking a chance of putting on some other adhesive and having it just fall off. Yep, I think that's going to work. So let's do that to all of these. Spray them and scrunch them. Bye, Jennifer. Thanks for joining us. She has to go because she's got to make dinner. Her husband works late nights and they moved, so he lives kind of far away from home. So he doesn't get home till late, which really sucks. But you gotta do what you gotta do. This one has a lot on it. I'm not sure if wet glue is going to stick to that one or not. Let's just give it a shot. If not, I think that I will just do some E6000. The winner from the last live feed. Okay, let me put this one down and then I'll look that up real quick. This is the one that has all the wax in the middle. See the purple? I don't know if that's going to grab. But while I'm holding this and seeing if it works, I'm going to look that up. So I typically keep things in my drive so I can find them quick. I use Google Drive. It's awesome. Live stream from the December 4th. ATCs and bonus technique, which was the faux leather that we made using masking tape, was the winner was Deanna Baird. Woohoo! Is she here tonight? Need not be present to win. Just wondering if she's here. I thought I saw her. Yay, Deanna! Okay, I think it actually stuck somehow. And I need to put something on. I need to emboss the back of this. I just can't let it go. We got 15 minutes. There's plenty of time. I'm just not sure what. What do we want to emboss it with? Polka dots? No. Oh, something light like this would be pretty. Like this, because it looks like flowers. Like flowery vines and stuff. This is a Cuttlebug one by Provo Craft. They never put their names on them, and mine are old, and I never bothered looking for the names, so I can't really tell you what it is. I gotta fix my sandwich here so this will roll through smoothly. Because to cut those little tiny dies, I had to put in a couple of, I don't even know what you call those squiggly things. I used a couple of these to cut those wafer thin dies. So now we've got a little bit of a background, and I am going to put all of this together. Hopefully we don't have wax on all of it because we want some of it to stick. going to be the trick, is getting these flowers to stick to this wax background. Hopefully it works. We'll find a way to work. If we have to use E6000 or glossy accents, that's what we'll use. I'm trying to center this sort of right on the middle of the card. So is she gone? Wasn't she here in the beginning? I thought she was. Anyway, so we've used the ones that we have already made using our Encaustic to create some funky big flowers for this background. I'm scraping with my nail to see if that would make any difference. I don't know if it will. But the first thing I'm going to try is wet glue. And see if that helps. See if that stays. I could use brads, but if I use brads, they're going to go back to the other side, and then I have to put in a whole nother layer on the inside of the card to hide the brads. And then I have to find a brad that matches this and that doesn't look dorky in the middle of those things. How about I post them out and you guys choose? So I got all kinds of colors, brads. Otherwise, on this side I have gold and silver. How about we go with gold or, well, gold or silver, or you guys tell me. Gold, silver, or one of these other colors that I've got in here. Let me pull the flowers out so you can kind of get an idea what color they are. The glue is actually sticking to that waxy part. I'm pretty impressed. I don't really want to have to use a brad just because, but I will. Brads, excuse me, make things bulky. Oh yay! Barb finally made it into the chat room. Woohoo! Oh yay! Rosemarie made it. Yes, encaustic. That broadens my vocabulary too. I've got one for lime green, gold, and light yellow and cream. Well, those are all four different, very different colors. So go ahead and vote. Lime green, cream. There's four. Lime green, cream, gold. Oh shoot, I missed the last one. Lime green, cream, gold, or yellow. Looks like I've got 2 for lime green so far, 3 for lime green. I'm getting out my pokey tool so I'm ready. Lime green, lime green, lime green. Looks like lime green's winning. Sorry, guys. Lime green is the winner. So I have this little container that's got my pokey tool in it. If I can get it out. I'm losing fingernails left and right. Usually I have them nice and painted, but here's the deal why I didn't paint them this week. I have a young gal who I work with at home, at school. And she is a compulsive liar. She has had trauma in her life. And when she makes it through a week, not lying, I don't focus on that, but when she makes it through a week and does what she needs to do and pushes herself to get the assignments finished, then I reward her with something special. Now, she can't have sugar either. That's a family rule. So this week we're going to color our fingernails, and that's why I haven't colored my fingernails, because I want her to have something to color when come tomorrow, actually. I've missed 2 days of work, so we'll see how that goes. I thought I was pulling out the same green, but I'm not, apparently. Now I'm missing one. What's wrong with me? I tell a story and I can't keep my greens straight? That's close. They're all really close, actually, and close in color. We've got about 8 minutes left. We're going to definitely be able to finish this card. So I probably should put something underneath this to make it a little safer, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna poke the hole through my hand. And then, yeah, that glue is really sticking out. I'll nearly rip the paper off. I'm gonna stick that brad through the hole. And then through this hole. Now, if I'd have thought of that, I shouldn't say I thought of it. If you guys had, we had such a lag, I could have put this through this part right here, and then I could have pop dotted this part up so that we wouldn't have to hide the brads on the inside of the card. But it is what it is, and we can totally hide them. So then we get a look like that, which is super cool, you guys. You have very creative ideas. And then we need to figure out where we want the next two to go. I'm thinking kind of in this sort of a pattern, kind of a triangle. So I'm going to put my hole right here and my hole right there. I'm eyeballing it up because as long as I've got a hole there and I've got a hole in the inside of my center of my flower, I won't have to line the two up and I won't have to go through so many layers at one time. So if I get through that layer first, see that? Then I can just go ahead and find the next layer like this. There we go. Puncture it through and then just turn them on the other side. And one more. I just noticed that I cut my finger. I'm not sure if it was recently or what, because I just saw it now in the camera. So there we go, and I'm just going to peel up the petals to give it a little bit more of a 3D look, because they really stick out. That is really cool. What a great card we guys came up with. We guys. That is super pretty. I don't even think it needs that white background. I should just glue this all together to hide those and just cut all the way around that. Star says the orange and purple combo would look really cool as a calico cat. That would be interesting. That is a really neat card. I'm totally enamored with it. You guys think it's cool? An hour is just not enough time, Deanna says. And Jamie said if you can do one in 5 minutes, 8 minutes is nothing. That's funny. I mean, this technique could pop up in a challenge. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't thought that far ahead. Usually what I do is I pick out what the challenge is going to be each week on Saturday. I post the challenge a day early just so that we know we've got it out on time. And then Sunday's live stream is typically an example of what the challenge is. so that those of you who are new or starting out or just want some inspiration and something fun to do can come along and check it out and see how it's done and all that kind of thing. Rosemary says she likes it. It needs a sentiment. Well, if you can come up with one, honey, I'll put one on. I am a sentiment killer. I never put sentiments on until like right before I hand them out. Typically, I shouldn't say never, but it's the last thing I think about, if I even think about it. I got all of my brads made. May asked the question, where do you get your brads? I got all of those brads from a lady online who does secondhand selling. Like, she buys craft stores that are going out of business, and then she resells all the stuff. And you get pretty terrific prices. One of these days, I'm going to put her name on here. I just, off the top of my head, I want to say it's McMullen. I should totally know her name. We've become really good friends, actually, through the whole thing. I don't think it's Deanna. Ah, poo. McMullen, look her up. Look for secondhand crafty sales on Facebook. That's where I found her. I don't know, Kathy, are you familiar with her? Maybe you are. I'm just trying to do a little bit of cleanup here while I yak at you because we've only got like 2 minutes left. And I do want to end tonight on time because I have to work tomorrow and it's been a couple of days off. And I just have not been feeling in full control over my emotions and whatnot, but I'm not going to bore you with that because it clears up as it does for everyone because life is chronic and you never know what's going to strike you on any given day. Am I right? Am I right? This was super fun though. I really, really liked this. So Deanna, you're the one that came up with this. This was a great idea. It kind of brought me a little bit out of my funk. I really enjoyed it. It was super fun. Something I don't ever play with, even though I have this stuff. So very well done. And thank you to everyone who showed up. This was so cool. Blank cards are nice. Because I never know who I'm going to give it to or what I want to do, what I want to use it for. But this is pretty spectacular. I really, really like it. So thank you to everyone who came. Okay, what are my last things that I need to say? Number one, my YouTube channel, which is where you're at right now, live streams every Thursday night from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time and every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. They are interconnected, as in everyone who enjoys watching my videos and my live streams may also join the Koality family over at Koality Crafts on Facebook. We'd love to have you. Just make sure that you touch base with somebody either in the group or Kathy Dunahee or I so that we know who you are. Like normally we get a rush of people from a live stream over there and then we know you came from here because the time coincides. But there's been so many copycats of people and people's profiles that if you're new and you just don't have a big profile and we look at that and we're not sure, well, we're not going to let you in. And I want you to be able to get in. So keep that in mind when you do that. You can definitely, I am Kathy Dunahee and I am myself. And because it is the holiday season, I just want to mention that we do send out birthday cards to everyone who is on the Koality Crafts list. Kathy, I try to keep Kathy in full stock of birthday cards, but a lot of times she ends up making them herself as well, and she pays for all of the postage. So if you want to take her mailing address from Koality Crafts and send her a book of stamps as a thank you for Christmas or the holiday that you would like to represent or celebrate, that would be wonderful. We would greatly appreciate that. And as always, I cannot wait to see you guys next video. Bye-bye.